Who wants some? Who's next? Huh? How about it? Who wants some?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Oh my God, Becky. Look at that shunt. It's just so big. Ugh. It looks like one of those rich guys has his hand up an ass, but, you know, who understands those rich guys? Ugh. They only shunt with her because she looks like a total prostitute, okay? I mean, the shunt, it's just so big. I can't believe it's so round. It's just, like, out there. I mean, gross. She's just so deformed. I like big shunts and I cannot lie. No, is that too far? That's probably too far today. Okay. Well, hello, everyone.
Hey, guys. I'm just going to let Dylan do that by himself for a second.
Welcome back to the VHS Doom podcast and rental store. We're so happy that you've decided to join us for another week of total and absolute chaos. And if you're a regular listener, we truly appreciate your love of this insane show and the bullshit that I be doing. If you're a new listener, and that's the very first thing you've heard us say at the VHS Doom podcast, well, what the fuck just happened? Welcome to VHS Doom. With me today, as always, is my ever nefarious, dastardly, and always awesome co-host, Mikey Mutant.
The champion of the shunt.
The champion of the shunt. Mr. Shunt to you. Mr. Shunt. Definitely not Mr. Cunt. Okay. So we truly hope all of you enjoyed last week's episode where we did a deep dive into a classic and masterpiece, in my opinion, 1992's Candyman, starring the ever awesome Tony Todd. We had a great time despite being harassed by the British ghost in the walls named Dandy Man. Bitch. He thought it would be funny to transport Mikey and I to Cabrini Green, and then he proceeded to fill Mikey's mouth with so many beans. So many fucking beans. The fucking Brits,
Things always happen to me on this show, I swear.
Yeah, how are you recovering after that onslaught of beans?
Well, I don't eat baked beans anymore or any other kind of disgusting British food.
Yeah, like fish and chips. Or no, I guess fish and chips aren't so bad.
That's okay.
Haggis?
Yeah, no.
Is that British? Haggis?
Isn't that? No, I think that's like Scottish.
Oh yeah, the Scots are gross too, but they're cooler than the Brits. So, fuck,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Same with the Irish.
I don't know things about Great Britain, and I don't want to know them except beans and walls. Just kidding. All of our British listeners, we do love you guys. So if you look at the breakdown of like where our listeners live, most of them are in the U.S., and then we have maybe like 15 or 20% in Canada. So thank you guys so much. It's not just Troy. There are other VHS Doomers up in the Canada. And then like 5%
horror from Canada too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So like 5% of our listeners are from England or Great Britain or somewhere up on that island. So thank you guys for listening in. And if, we offend you, who cares? I'm glad you're having fun with us. That's all right. Okay. So that's enough of that British shit. This week, I have a very, very special treat for you. Man. After I watched Society, which is our feature presentation this week, welcome to that. I knew it was time
to take a shower.
Yeah, I did. It was disgusting. But I knew it was time to ask Scabby Man for a favor. So I prayed my little heart out to Satan, and my wish was granted. And here again, in all of his crack-fueled glory, is the man. Well, the head, really. The teeny tiny head. Tiny! Woo! Mikey's favorite character's back.
Wait, he's going to do something to me. I'm scared.
No, he's a pretty forgiving dude. Hey, man, happy to have you back. So when I saw you in Billy's locker, I knew it was time to bring you back.
Thanks, man. But I really need some crack. Did you know there really isn't any crack in the void? At least any crack that I'm used to.
No, I didn't know that. We don't do crack here, but I will see what I can do for
The walls
you.
are made out of crack in the store, though.
What? What's made out of crack?
The walls.
Oh, we got crack
The
walls.
walls in this VHS store.
Yeah, we're in the void, so that's possible. We just patch it up with crack.
That started happening after our Frankenhooker episode when they introduced the super crack.
Oh, fuck yeah, I love super crack, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, well, so society, huh? Yeah, I remember acting in that. They shoved me into a locker and told me not to talk.
Ah, I see.
Sounds like high school.
Kinda, right? Yeah, that's not... Fuck. So how did you get cast in society anyway?
Well, that's a good story. I was hanging out in a whorehouse just outside of Reno when Yuzna walked in. He was looking to party, and I knew that I was just the guy to get him going.
Son of a fucking bitch. I can do any fucking monologue, doesn't matter, and I get fucked by a Mountain Dew. That's okay. All right, buddy.
He got fucked by a Mountain Dew.
After about 6 hours of going to Yee-Town, and that's what I call doing crack, and then he was going to Pound Town, and that's fucking if you weren't sure about that. Yuzna had the idea for the shunt.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. It's pretty depraved. A lot of crack-fueled orgy. That makes shunting. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that usually comes from a crack orgy if you've never done one. Anyway, after that, Yuzna kept in touch, and he eventually begged me to be the shrunken head in the locker scene, and I guess I was his inspiration or something.
Okay. All right.
I definitely was doing crack in there, though.
Oh. All right. All right. So you heard it here first on the VHS Doom podcast, friends. That is the story of Brian Yuzna's inspiration for shunting. And welcome back to Tiny. Really glad you're here, even if Mikey wants to light you on fire.
Yeah, I'm pretty forgiving, so I'm not going to try to hurt him or anything. But, if he wants to give me a little bit of crack, that'd be nice too. Or a little bit of a lick on the mouth. Oh, good, you're back. Can you shove me in your asshole?
What?
No.
Oh, so...
What?
Tiny was kind of saying while you walked away that if you could shunt with him, that he'd probably forgive you for lighting him on fire. I don't know. Something about doing crack and shunting.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
It's like and it's an inspiration for life. But anyway, so yeah, that's the true story of Brian Yuzna's inspiration for the shunting, as told by Tiny. You heard it here first on the VHS Doom podcast, and welcome back to Tiny. And we're glad you're here, even if Mikey wants to light you on fire. Anyway. That's enough of that. Please subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast and help us out with a rating. It goes a really long way to support the show and all of our ridiculous bullshit that we be doing. Check out the merch store if you haven't already, vhsdoom.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom and click on the link. It'll take you right to the merch store, which is awesome. No new designs yet, but if you haven't purchased anything up to this point, check it out. And I do have a couple designs in mind. As soon as my life calms down a little bit, I'll get them put up. Also, we want you on the show. If you're a band, a director, an actor, and you're promoting a project, or if you want to do if you're a podcast and you want to do a collaboration, we'd love to do that. We could do another round table like we did with Troy. That'd be a lot of fun. So we want to talk to you. But specifically, if you are an actor or a director, get the fuck on the show, man, and tell us about it. We have been connecting with a lot of new people on Instagram. So I'm happy about that. And I think that we will be getting a few people on within the next couple months. So that's really cool. All right. That's it. That's enough pandering. Fuck that shit. Mikey, how the fuck have you been? How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I don't know. Just I have a week to go before I start my new job.
You got what?
I'm starting a new job. I told you about that already. I start on the 18th, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay, just a couple more days. All right.
I don't know. Just doing stuff around the house, family stuff, the usual.
You built a fucking bed, bro.
Oh yeah, I built a bed frame. But it was
Nice.
very easy. It was like one of those cheap ones from Amazon. It's like 4 screws and like everything just goes together pretty quickly.
No, you crafted it from a
Um,
fucking tree you
I
cut
did
down outside. I know. You know and I know. All
a
right.
tree made out of metal. A tree made out of metal.
Metal tree.
I did. I did order some movies from the Kino sales we were talking about last week.
Oh, yeah.
If you want me to
too.
go over them?
Yeah. What'd you get?
Got a bunch of stuff you want to talk about. I got Mephisto's Waltz from 1971, starring Alan Alda, Jacqueline Bisset. This is a necromancy and like a devil movie.
Nice. Alan Alda. Is that the guy from
great.
fucking MASH? Is that Alan Alda?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Virgin Witch.
Nice.
1972. Brooke and Hare from 1972 from England.
Okay.
It's based on a real story of those two. What's it called? Grave robbers.
Yeah. Okay.
This Jess Franco vampire movie from 1972. He's the one who did Vampires Lesbos. I showed you.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
I got the same one as you did. Ganja and Hess.
We got to do Ganja and Hess. I really want to do that.
Yeah, when you told me it was on sale, I had to grab it. And then my favorite Western of all time, 100 Rifles, starring Burt Reynolds.
Okay. Wow, I have never seen that.
Jim Brown. Probably got it.
Cool.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. And then I just ordered earlier from Arrow. Somebody told me that Stuart Gordon's Dolls isn't out of print and it's part of a box set now.
Okay.
And I'm kind of a completist with directors I really like. So this one comes with his other movie, Robot Jocks. Okay. And it's from the Empire. So Empire was the thing that was before Full Moon from Charles Band, like a label.
Yeah.
And like they put out a box set of the last few movies that they put out, and I got it. It's like $70 now on Arrow's sale they're having right now.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Good shit, man. Yeah, is that the one you sent me the picture of earlier?
Yeah. It was originally like $100. It's like $20 off, so it's pretty good.
Okay, cool, man. Cool.
Gotta love a sale.
Nice. And what'd you watch? What'd you watch then?
Oh, okay. So let's get to there. I was posting a little bit on Twitter and Instagram of what I watched. Well, on my Instagram at least. First one is Ms. 45 from Abel Ferreira.
Okay.
From 1981. A timid and mute seamstress goes insane after being attacked and raped twice in one day. She takes the streets of New York City after dark and randomly shoots men with a .45 pistol.
Nice. Okay.
It's a really good revenge movie. Really, really cool. If you like stuff like Death Wish or I Spit on Your Grave or Thriller, The Girl with One Eye, which that one influenced Kill Bill.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Thriller.
Yeah,
I watched that one too, but like I watched like 5 movies this week because I had some time actually. I'm only going to go over 3 though. The next one is Kathy's Curse from 1977 from Canada. It is one of the most batshit movies I've ever seen. Okay. It makes no sense. Nice. It's known for being one of the weirdest movies ever. A young girl is possessed by a spirit of her aunt who died as a child in a car wreck. Soon people around her begin to mysteriously die off.
Okay.
It's really good if you like really weird like Canadian movies in the 70s.
All right, I like that, man.
Last one is an Italian, I'd say ripoff of Rambo a little bit.
Okay.
It's from Umberto Bava. It's called Blast Fighter. A former policeman sets out unleash a revenge upon deer poachers who rape and kill his daughter. It's starring Michael Sawapa and George Eastman. Eastman plays the bad guy in it.
Nice. Okay. I like that.
You guys would know him probably from like Anthropophagus.
Absurd.
He's the killer in Absurd. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Mm-hmm. It's really good. It's from 1984. Code Red Films put it out on Blu-ray a couple years ago.
Okay, gotcha. Nice, man. Awesome.
I also watched another fun one. I'll say.
Yeah, go
1990,
for it.
The Bronx Warriors from Enzo Castellari.
Yeah.
Okay, this one also stars Eastman. He's like in a little bit of a role. So it's pretty much like Escape from New York meets The Warriors.
Okay.
That was another cycle of movies Italy did of Escape from New York and Warriors ripoff movies.
Yeah.
Like Mad Max, like post-apocalyptic kind of thing. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. There's 3 of them in the series. Fred Williamson is one of the stars in the movie. So you know it's going to be good.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
cool.
what's up with you?
Nice. You have such a good list this week. I'm super stoked about it. What's up with me personally? Well, hey, if you're watching on old YouTube eventually when we get this uploaded, hey, I'm in a new like studio setting kind of thing. I got my camera, like I had like a Canon EOS whatever camera that I haven't been using because I got it way back in the day for us to make film with, and I'll use it to take pictures in here and there. But I was like, fuck, I'm gonna stop using my little webcam that's like super shitty quality, and I'm gonna put up my nice camera and try to stream from it. So I am, and I'm trying to still work out how we can actually do streaming. Like I'm having trouble getting that set up, but we're getting.
You know what might work? I've heard OBS works.
Oh yeah.
That's like one of the stream. Yeah, it's one of the stream programs.
I'll have to check that out.
I always see like streamers on YouTube do that, where they're able to like play video games and use that. I don't know.
Outside of that, family is good, man. Work is good. I'm starting at a new, like it's the same job but a new location. Finally, like out of training. So I'm going to take over my own shit, which is cool. Yeah, so hopefully I'm not going to have to drive 2.5 hours every day anymore, and I'll have a lot more time to edit and time to spend with the fam and everything like that. All right, so what did I watch? Well, since you're talking about you talked about what you got from the Kino Lorber sale, which I was proud of myself because I actually told Mikey about the sale, but it was thanks to a Cut Above horror review over on Instagram. When we did our New Year's Evil episode, they reached out and they're like, "Hey, I got from Kino. Yeah, I got from Kino a special edition of the New Year's Evil Blu-ray. It's pretty great." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I went and checked it out, and they were having a massive fucking sale. So I also I picked up 5. So I got the Ganja and Hess Blue, the New Year's Evil special edition, which is a really fucking cool cover. You guys go check that out. I picked up Sacrifice from Umberto Lenzi, which, you know.
Deep River Savages, it's also called.
It looked like a lot of fun.
It's a great cannibal movie.
I feel like it looked like it was going to be, so I got it. And I like Umberto Lenzi's stuff anyway, everything I've watched thus far. So
everything he's done from horror to like police thrillers to cannibal movies is amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Even like his schlocky stuff. Because he did this movie Ghost House, which is a ripoff of like Poltergeist and The Exorcist kind of thing. No, more a Poltergeist.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite movies, but it's like really weird and funny.
Okay, gotcha. Nice.
Like an Italian like weirdness sense.
Yeah. So speaking of Italian, I also picked up Renato Pacelli's Black Magic Rites. Oh
man, I talked about that a couple episodes ago. That's a good one. That's trippy as hell.
Is it? Yeah, that looked really fun. And then the last one I picked up was actually it's called Dark Power, but I can't. Who's it by? Dark Power, 1985, by Phil Smoot. Phil Smoot, I believe. So we'll see how that is. But it looked like a fun cover. So anyway, yeah, good stuff, man. That's what I got. And what did I watch? So what I watched this week was actually 2, and they were both fun. One I watched, which I'd never seen. So, you know, hate me if you want, but it was a first time watch for me. Eaten Alive by Tobe Hooper from 1976. Which is fucking weird. It's a weird fucking movie.
Yeah, very weird.
It's like,
I think that's Robert Englund's first role, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Robert Englund has the line in the very beginning, which Quentin Tarantino took and wrote into, I don't know what film, but a film later, but my name's Buck and I'm looking to fuck. That is originally.
Is that from Kill Bill he took that for?
Maybe. It might have been in Kill Bill. Essentially, it's about, you know, giant crocodile living in a lake next to a hotel. And the hotel's run by a crazy, you know, Marine or something like that. He's a veteran who's just lost his fucking mind, and it's the series of people who show up. The first one being a prostitute, and then the prostitute who's running away from prostitution, and her family shows up later. And then a random family shows up and their dog gets eaten. And then this girl hides under the house for like 80 minutes. And it's just a lot. The reason I watched it was because the guys from Mutant City Horror put out an episode on this movie. And I was like, shit, I've never seen this. And, you know, it's Toby
That was a good
Hooper.
episode, by the way.
Yeah, it was. It's Toby Hooper, so I'm going to go check it out. Their review was super honest, and I agree with most of what they said in that. So that was fun. And then next, I've had this on my watch list on Tubi for quite a while, but I finally got to it. Auntie Lee's Meat Pies from 1992 by Joseph F. Robertson.
Are you sure that was on Tubi?
It's on fucking Tubi. Yeah, bro. Both of these are on Tubi. So once again, hashtag Tubi, sponsor the pod. And then secondly, have you ever seen Auntie Lee's Meat Pies? Have you ever watched that?
No, I haven't seen her meat pies.
You haven't seen her meat pies? Bro, listen to this shit. Okay, so Auntie Lee's Meat Pies is it's a cannibal, I'm going to call it neo-cannibal movie from 1992 that stars people that I was like, holy fuck, why are they in this movie? So one, fucking Pat Morita, dude, from Karate Kid.
How did they get this cast?
And Michael Berryman is in it from the original Hills Have Eyes.
And Karen Black also.
Right, Karen Black plays Auntie Lee. So
that's crazy.
The cast, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I kept like having more and more of those moments. So essentially the plot is that, like, a real high level is that Auntie Lee's Meat Pies is a business in a town called Penance. And anyone who is caught by her group of really, hotties that live with her, they lure them in, they kill them, and they serve them in meat pies, right? That's it. That's really, from the very beginning, that's what's happening. The plot kind of follows, like, everyone who's coming through this, and it gets really insane. Like, there are the colors and, like, the set design gets really trippy for a while. They fucking have giant snakes, and, like, a giant snake fucking stab someone to death, and it's just a lot of fucking fun. If you haven't watched Auntie Lee's Meat Pies from 1992, it was definitely a direct-to-video, post Golden Age horror cannibal flick. But
the wiki says it takes film elements from Motel Hell and Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, both of those.
I gotta see this. Okay,
Love
meat. I was gonna watch Motel Hell last night, but I didn't pass out. I was about to watch another movie, and I tried sleeping, but I couldn't. But
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fucking fun, man. So check it out. You will enjoy yourself. There were multiple points throughout this film where I was like, wow, this is fun. Oh, wow, this is really cool. So, like, I loved it.
It looks fun.
I highly recommend it. It's on Tubi. Tubi, sponsor the pod. But it's also put out by Vinegar Syndrome, I believe. I want to say...
Oh, it is? Okay.
They have it.
I'm going to be going to the archive soon, so I'll definitely pick it up from their store.
Yes, they do. It is available on their website at the moment as well.
Oh, nice.
For $27.99. It's on sale. So anyway, lots of fun. Check it out. Yeah. Okay, and that's what we did. That's what we watched. Fuck. So let's get back to it. We're going to go ahead and check you guys in this week. So it's that time again. Hope you enjoyed what we sent you home with. So the list from last week was pretty cool. It was Dread from 2009 by Anthony DeBlasi. We sent you with Nightbreed from 1990 by Clive Barker. We sent you with Midnight Meat Train.
We're going to do an episode on that eventually.
We will. We did sent you with Midnight Meat Train from 2008 by Ryui Kitamura. We sent you with Hatchet from 2006 by Adam Green. And lastly, for the kids and the family, we sent you with The Secret of Nim by Don Bluth from 1982. Now, as we've said quite a few times in the last couple of weeks, we're now curating your lists to match what we covered. So last week we covered Candyman, so that was your list. Kind of went along with that. Mikey, how's everything looking this week? What the fuck? Are you deep throating the fucking cases? What are you doing? What the fuck? Holy shit, they're melting into his hands. Mikey's becoming a part of fucking cases. The tapes are melting.
If you have any edible fantasies you'd like to indulge in, now's the time.
What the fuck? Your face is made out of a hand and a fucking videotape. Okay, so I'm pretty sure everyone...
Okay, I'm better. How's Scabby been? Okay.
Bro, no, your fucking face is in your ass right now. What are you talking about? You're a butthead.
I'm a butthead.
So Mikey just shunted. If anyone wasn't aware, Mikey actually is not of the human race. He has been here longer than all of us. So yes, he shunted really quick. If you didn't know, Mikey's a shunter. But he is the champion of the shunt. So that's cool. He's okay. All right, this week we're pressing play, friends. Come on, step on up. Push this little box into the VHS player, and let's hit play, and let's get going on one of the weirdest fucking movies I've watched in the last 2 weeks.
For Bill Whitney,
I've never been paranoid.
fear plays a large part in family life.
I feel like something's gonna happen. And if I scratch the surface, there'll be something terrible underneath.
He's afraid his sister
Could you zip me up, Billy?
is not what she seems.
God, Bill, what's the matter with you?
He thinks his friends are out to get him.
Make waves, Whitney. You're gonna drown.
People are what they are. Now you have to learn to accept that.
He's about to find out the truth.
Why are you guys doing this to me, huh?
What, you've been living with these people all your life and you didn't know anything about this?
Is far worse than he could ever imagine.
If you don't follow the rules, Billy, bad things happen.
Didn't you know, Billy boy? The rich have always sucked off low-class scum like you.
Uh-oh, Billy.
Clarissa? Don't be so intense.
Now, some people make the rules and some people follow the rules. It's a question of what you're born to.
You never were one of us.
You know, you really deserve what's going to happen to you.
I don't think so. Wait. Can't you see they're setting you up for something?
You know how I hate to give you drugs.
You're officially dead.
Don't go home, Billy.
No.
Bill Whitney is about to become one
Showtime, Billy!
with society.
Who are you? Let me give you a hand, Bill.
In Beverly Hills, what you fear is only the beginning.
Anything for society.
Cool. Mikey, you got
Before
the
we
blue?
get to, I do have a note. I do have
Yeah.
a note for something. So no, like one of my favorite people apparently wrote a sequel to this. I'm just looking at our notes.
Yeah, but it
Stephen
didn't ever-
Biro, the guy who runs Unearthed Films, they follow us on Twitter.
Oh, do they? Nice. No, I saw
Yeah.
that there was a second one that was being written in 2013, but it never actually made it anywhere.
Like
Did it
if he does it, you know it's gonna be disgusting and brutal.
That's cool. No, I love that. Well, hey, fucking keep working on it, friend. All right, Mikey, you want to read the back of the box?
Let's go. Okay. Teenager Billy Whitney has always felt odd one out by his wealthy upper-class Beverly Hills family. For some reason, he doesn't seem to fit in, but his sense of alienation takes a sinister turn when he hears audio of his sister's coming out party, which implicates his family and others in a bizarre ritual orgy. There are strange things he's been seeing, glimpses of people with their body parts contorted and possibly out of shape. Is Billy mad, or is there something seriously amiss in this neighborhood?
Well, we'll talk about that one.
I love the original poster for this.
Yeah, it's a very cool poster. I do like that, where she's pulling her face off. It's neat.
It doesn't look like Billy or his sister, though.
No, it's two randos for sure. For sure. Okay, so Society is a 1989. Is it 1989? I thought it was 92. Oh, you know what? It came out at a film festival first. Yeah, and it came out in Europe first. But anyway, so it's a 1989 American body horror film directed by Brian Yuzna and starring Billy Warlock. What a cool fucking name! Devin DeVasquez, Evan Richards, and Ben Myers.
I like his name, and his real name is better than his stage name.
Right?
Movie.
Billy Warlock. It's fucking sweet. Yes, so the plot follows a Beverly Hills teenager who begins to suspect that his wealthy parents are a part of a gruesome cult for the social elite. Though the film was completed in 1989, it was not released until 1992. Yes, the Illumabody. It was Yuzna's directorial debut and was written by Rick Fry, conceived and written by Woody Keith. Okay, Screaming Mad George was responsible for the special effects. Very cool.
One of the best effects artists of all time.
I really think we should do an episode on him. That would be awesome. And, okay, again, I do see the note here, but a sequel called Society 2 Body Modification was in development as of 2013, but that's 10 years ago. But the script apparently was written by Stephen Biro. And that, you said, is...
by the director of Human Guinea Pig, Bouquet of Guts and Gore.
Nice. And so you said they follow us on... who follows us?
On Twitter, yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
I'm friends with him on Facebook, too. I've talked to him before. He's a nice guy. He's really into, like, spiritual things and, like, just cool, like, occult things.
Nice. Cool. Shout out. Hey, Steven. Hope you're listening. Like, that'd be really cool.
He's also known for getting the rights to the original Guinea Pig movies and selling it in his country, like being the only person who has the rights to it.
Oh, really? Cool. Nice.
Yeah, I really look up to him. I think he's really awesome. What he's done for extreme horror and distribution with that kind of stuff, too.
Okay, cool. Love it, man. Well, shout out. Okay, so what I think we can do this week, I'm going to read through the plot quickly, and then we can come in with our notes, afterward.
I actually have like a long list of notes for this one.
I do too. So this will be a fun one. So I'll go paragraph by paragraph, and it's not a ton, but we can talk about each section as we get to the end of it and have any notes that we can throw in there. So to start out, Bill Whitney lives with his parents and his sister in a mansion in Beverly Hills, California. He has a pretty blessed life. Bill tells his therapist, Dr. Cleveland, that he does not trust his rich family.
Brown.
Dr. Cleveland Brown. When his sister's ex-boyfriend...
Cleveland show.
God damn it. Okay, so when his sister's ex-boyfriend, named David Blanchard, who apparently is Jewish... We'll get to that. Gives him a surreptitiously recorded audio tape.
As a Jewish person myself.
I know. We'll get to it. I'll let you cover that. So when he gives... David Blanchard gives Billy a surreptitiously recorded audio tape of what sounds like his family engaged in a murderous, sexy time orgy. Bill begins to suspect that his feelings are justified. Bill gives the tape to Dr. Cleveland, but when he plays it back later, the audio has been changed to his sister's formal coming out party. When Bill attempts to meet Blanchard to obtain another copy, he finds that an ambulance has arrived on the scene of a wreck, and Blanchard has, died. There are police officers gathered around Blanchard's crashed van, and a body is placed into the back of the ambulance. But Bill is prevented from seeing the face of the person that is dead. Okay, so what do we have?
The cop was mean, too. He's part of it, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want me to start or do you want to start?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay, because we're all the way up to the party. I'll start. Okay, so in the very beginning, I have the answer to this now, but in the very beginning, when my man's Bill is fucking sneaking through his house, he pulls a knife out of the drawer and he wraps his whole hand around the blade and squeezes it. And I was like, why the fuck did he do that? But I figured that out later. So later, when he goes home, he touches the knife in the same way and he bleeds. So the beginning was a dream, and at the end, he knew he was in real life. So that was neat. That was answered. The song that they play is super creepy during the credits, and the line, "We'll all stay together. Society waits for you." I'm like, fucking shit, these rich crazies. That really was annoying. Bill, when he goes and he visits his psychiatrist, he takes a bite of an apple, and there are worms in it in the beginning. And then when he visits his psychiatrist again, he bites another apple, and there are no worms in it, and then he just puts it back in the fucking bowl. Like, what kind of asshole takes an apple, takes a bite out of it, and then puts it back in the bowl for other people to look at later? Dick. God, maybe that was just funny thing to do. I did put Tiny made an appearance in Bill's locker, so that was cool. And then lastly, I think so. I said no one in their right mind would let a kid just walk into a crime scene and track through blood, which he was stepping in blood, and then he was touching stuff. And then the cop came up and he said, "This isn't a garage sale." Like, what the fuck? Like, put up some fucking crime scene tape, guy.
Well, isn't the cop one of those creatures too?
Yeah, he was later. It came out that he was. So yeah. They wanted to let him.
Of course, he's going to respond in like a non-human way of just talking.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, but I was like, "What the fuck? Who's letting this kid just walk up in a bunch of blood?" Anyway, cool. What do you have for that section?
Okay, so Billy's basketball shorts are hilarious. They're so 80s.
They're so fucking short that you can see his fucking cock and balls. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like walking around like it is like underwear.
Pretty much, yeah.
The sister in the shower with her body all contorted was creepy as hell.
That was super fucking creepy, yeah.
I didn't put it in my notes, but Blanchard, when he like pops out of the closet, was like really creepy too.
Oh, yeah. When her earring was just like laying in the closet and he burst out, like, "I gotta tell you this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for like how Billy was treated by his family, and I wonder if that was like his whole life and he only started realizing it then.
Right. That's a good question. Right? So obviously he was like stolen as a baby or something like that, right? Or adopted. Maybe he could have been.
I guess, I don't know if this is like going a little bit forward, but Judge Carter, even early on when he was like talking to the dad and his sister's there,
yeah,
he's like really creepy with her, and like I think they do it on purpose, but like,
yeah,
that was very strange.
It was, yeah.
And also how the dad already knew that the wire that's in her earring was from Blanchard.
Right. Yeah. That is interesting. Yeah. They do mention the judge really early in the beginning. So after, like, right as Billy comes in after playing basketball in his short shorts, their parents come in and they're like, "Oh, Judge, what's his name? Carter? Carlin?"
Yeah,
Judge Carter. Judge Carter's gonna be there tonight. So like they were already planning on her like fucking Judge Carter. Like,
you'd think it was like a young person by the way they said that, but no, it's like an 80-year-old man.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Or a creature.
So, that was a weird thing. But you're right. It was setting those creepy vibes up really early. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So the next little section. So Bill,
I found one more I had.
Okay.
Billy's mullet.
Okay. he does have a mullet. Yeah.
That was so bad.
That was the time to have a mullet and drive a fucking Jeep. That's what he did. Yeah, that's what he did. That's kind of the late 80s, early 90s. So, and
I heard the mullet's coming back though.
They're coming back from what I hear. Yeah. Fucking stupid.
Like Gen Z really likes their mullets.
They do. Good for them though. You know what? Do you fuck everybody else? Who cares?
You want to look like Joe Dirt? It's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's fine. I'll just kind of chuckle a little bit. All right, so
stab your face with a soldering iron.
Bill attends a party that's hosted by his rich classmate named Ted, the fucking Tycoon Ferguson,
champion of the shunt.
Champion of the shunt, who confirms that the first tape was real. Ted doesn't give a shit. He's just putting it all out there. So, angry and confused, Bill leaves the party with Clarissa, who's a very beautiful girl that he's kind of been seeing here and there. Anyway, she was in the very beginning.
At the beach.
Yeah, at the school when he was doing his debate, she like spread her legs and he like really got fucked up by that.
Well, his girlfriend was like sitting in a crowd too. And then like when they went to the beach too, like I felt bad for his girlfriend because like he was just ignoring her the whole time.
Right. Obviously, his girlfriend was a human because, like, she wasn't invited to Ted's party either, even though she was like a popular cheerleader, right? So, these creatures do maintain distance from, like popular regular humans. They have their own group.
I mean, so does the ultra rich, honestly.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's their own next level, right? So. The next day, Bill confronts his parents and his sister at Blanchard's funeral. He confronts them because this was a really weird scene where they were all just sitting in their parents' room, like very barely dressed, including the sister, and like
touching each other.
The dad was giving the sister a massage or something, and Bill was like, "What the fuck?"
He's like just in his boxers and like a robe.
Right. It was very, very weird. So later at Blanchard's funeral, Bill and his friend Milo discovered that Blanchard's corpse may actually be fake because for some reason Milo touches the body, which was fucking weird anyway, but the face kind of cracks a little bit.
They also said that like, they're referencing like maybe it was just like reconstruction after like a bad accident because they did think he like had a car wreck before they found out what happened. Also, on the funeral itself, we both have it in our notes, I see. Yeah. Us Jewish people, we don't do wakes or open casket funerals.
Right, yeah.
So I was very confused by that. Even if it was just like a fake funeral.
Yeah, that is a weird thing. I don't know why they put that in there, and I mean I don't know if that's answerable. Maybe there were just no Jewish people working.
Yuzna.
Is Yuzna Jewish?
No. I mean, like he's the one who probably like wrote it. So
right. Well, yeah, but I mean, if you look at the writers, it's fucking Woody Keith and Rick Fry. I guess neither of them were Jewish, and I guess Yuzna's not Jewish. I'm just gonna guess because that was a weird thing to do. I was kind of confused by that too. So. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, moving on. So, Bill is then contacted. I'm sorry. What?
I was joking. I said cultural appropriation.
Cultural appropriation. Yeah. They could have just made it a regular fucking funeral, a non-religious funeral or something. I don't know. Whatever. Mm-hmm. Whatever. Oh well. Whatever. So, Bill is contacted by Martin Petrie, who's his rival for the upcoming high school presidency and the guy he's been debating against. They have an arranged meeting out in like a sparsely populated area, the woods, whatever. Bill discovers Petrie with his throat cut in the car. When he returns with the police, the body is gone. The next day at school, Petrie shows up alive and well after Bill had been telling the student body that he had found a dead body.
Embarrassed himself so much.
Yeah, he just looks super crazy at that point, and he's very embarrassed. So Bill goes home when he arrives.
The whole school's like laughing at him in the auditorium.
Yeah, that was tough. So when Bill arrives at home, he confronts his family again, but with Dr. Cleveland's help, Bill gets drugged. Milo at this point is trailing him, and Milo has admitted that he he's been messing with Bill as well, but just because he was mad that he wasn't hanging out with him. So like Milo put the shrunken head in his locker, and Milo put the sex doll and like the toys in his car, which was really fucking weird, but whatever. So
hey, now Dylan, if you're ever mad at me, don't do these kind of tricks. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a sex doll like that says your name on it. I'm just gonna send you one, and Katie's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Oh my god, what a bad friend! Why would you do that?
I find it funny, honestly.
Right? I mean, when you're fucking a teenager, like I guess you do stupid shit like that. But I can't imagine an adult sending me a sex doll as a joke. Okay, so you know what? Whatever. If you want to send me one, that's fine. I guess. I'll shunt with it. Okay, so the next day at school, wait, we already did that. So as Milo trails Bill as he's been drugged and put in an ambulance, He's taken to a hospital where he awakens thinking that he hears Blanchard crying out, but he discovers that there's nothing there. Milo and Clarissa try to warn him not to go home, but he goes to his house anyway. Okay, so what notes in that paragraph do we have for that section?
So Clarissa's mom.
Yeah, okay.
What the fuck was that? Was she like lobotomized or something?
Maybe she was like too annoying for them or something, and because she's obviously one of the creatures, right? Because Clarissa is.
Well, yeah, she's eating hair,
right? So yeah, maybe she was just really low on the totem pole, or maybe she was too annoying and they did lobotomize her. She wasn't invited to the Shuntin.
Well, yeah, because I was just gonna say because like the cop didn't even know who she was, and he like knew everybody there.
Right. That was a weird plot point that I don't think they ever really answered. It was just that she was weird. So I don't know.
They also don't answer why Clarissa was like helping him while she's like one of those things.
Well, so Clarissa was really into him. So they had sex, right? Maybe he lost his virginity to her. I don't know. But she was kind of contorted in a weird way, so you knew she was one of the creatures. But she seemed to really like him. And the very next scene where they're just drinking tea together, she says, "How do you like your tea? Cream, sugar, or do you want me to pee in it?" Did you catch that? It was just fucking that line. I was like, what the fuck? Who wrote that? Which one of you fuckers wrote that? Cream, sugar, or do you want me to pee in it? Okay. So yeah, that was weird. I had some other little notes here. So I did notate Bill's collection of fucked up toys and the sex doll at this point because Milo hadn't told him that it was him doing it. So I'm like, who the fuck is doing that shit? I did love that they set up the butthead thing, even though, so like Butthead is a really like kid kind of curse, right? But
it's an 80s like insult, in my opinion.
Kind of, right? But the line he says to his dad is quote, "Fuck you, butthead." So it's like a half really intense curse and then a half kind of
I guess
kid
it's like
curse.
saying like "fuck you, cunt," but like not in a,
right.
in the kid way.
I would have thought like "fuck you, dick" or like "fuck you, asshole," but like because that's on like the same playing field. But butthead is such a kid, like juvenile thing. I don't know, but it was a good way to set up what they did later. I also had the note of an open casket at a Jewish funeral, as we talked about, but you covered that. So one thing that I found really weird after he found his classmate dead with his throat slit in the car, but then the cops came back with them and the car was different and there was no body. He got really freaked out. The cops were like, "Hey, if we ever see you again, we're going to fuck you up," kind of thing. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you can get away with everything, whatever. But instead of, so he was chasing after whoever had killed his classmate in the woods. And when he jumps a fence and he's right in front of Clarissa's house at that point. So obviously Clarissa did not live very far from where all of this was taking place. So anyway, they go back with the cops.
Do you think she did that to Petrie?
No, I don't. So they went back with the cops. They don't find the body. He's distraught. She's distraught. But instead of going back to her house, they go and they sleep in his Jeep, and his legs are hanging out the side of his Jeep. I just didn't understand that at all. Like, why don't you just go back to her house? I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever. It's all good. Also, yeah, that's all in my notes up to this point. But you did also put in the note there that when Milo gets to the hospital, he does ask for Bill, and he's told Bill is dead. So that's pretty.
I had another note I forgot to say at the beginning when we were talking about the writers. They also wrote Bride of Reanimator with Brian Yuzna.
Oh, nice. Okay, gotcha. I love that. That's cool.
To link it back to like other movies we've talked about, like Reanimator. So
yeah, that's cool. Okay, cool. All right, so last paragraph here, I'll run through it and then we'll cover our notes afterwards. So at home, Bill finds a large formal party at his home. He's kind of sneaking through his house and everybody's hiding from him, which is weird. But Dr. Cleveland, reveals when Bill's parents come in, it's like a big reveal that everybody's there, that Bill's family and their rich friends are actually an entirely different species from Bill. To demonstrate, they bring a still living Blanchard into the room.
Aliens.
Right? He is calling them aliens, but they say they're not. They've been here as long as you have.
They were here at the same time.
Yeah, right. So the wealthy party guests strip to their underwear and begin the shunting, which is literally physically deforming their bodies and melding with each other into a near, amorphous mass. As the shunt continues, the party sucks the nutrients out of Blanchard's body, and essentially they shove their hands up his asshole and into every orifice and meld with him, and they fully absorb him, including even his birthmark for what's-his-face.
Judge Carter loves. It's on his face afterwards.
Right, yeah, Judge Carter liked that birthmark, so he got it for himself. Their intention is to do the same thing to Bill, but he escapes because Clarissa is in love with him and lets him go. So he runs around the house. He finds his family engaged in a very similarly bizarre and grotesque activity. Just the family left the group and went upstairs to shunt together. This is when he sees his dad has his face out of his ass and calls him, hey, look, I am a butthead. Which was a funny little joke there.
And it says, "Do you have any edible fantasies you want to live out?" Like edible,
right? Yeah, any edible fantasies that you want to live out before we eat you.
I do have a note on the shunting. It's based on Salvador Dali's autumnal cannibalism painting.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I watched the special features where they talked to Screaming Mad George, and he talks about it.
Nice. Very cool. All right, so just to finish here before we go with any more notes. So he confronts Ferguson and kills him. So they're kind of going to do a battle, and they're both introduced like boxers almost, where they're saying like Ferguson is the champion of the shunt, and he is related, like he has ancestry in
Julius Caesar.
They said Julius Caesar, and they said Genghis Khan. So, obviously, they're stating that a lot of very famous people throughout time and history have been these creatures, whatever. So, Billy and Ferguson fight. Billy kills him by reaching inside of his asshole mid-shunt and pulls him inside out. And apparently that's how you kill these creatures.
That was the coolest thing, when the eyes come out and stuff.
It was. Yeah, so when he did this, all the other people or creatures at the shunting would refuse to touch him and like, oh my God, watch out. And he punches his quote-unquote dad on the way out. So Bill escapes with the help of Milo and Clarissa, who Clarissa is also a member of this alternate species, but she has fallen in love with Bill. So they all leave together, which I have some thoughts on that. But anyway, what notes do you have on that last section, Mikey?
I like the quote Judge Carter says after Ted is killed. He says that he has a spot open for in DC for a what's it called?
Oh, like an intern?
Internship. Yeah.
Cool. How about you cover any notes you have there in the end, and then I'll cover it.
Just trying to see because we had like a lot of the same stuff. We already talked about the foreshadowing of his calling his dead butthead. I thought the creature that his mom and his sister become is really weird with the legs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, those are like pro wrestler legs on the body of like his mom.
When his sister's head came out between the legs, that was wild.
And then the guy whose like head was the devil sign. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. The effects in this movie, Screaming Mad George did an amazing job.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite effects artists.
Yeah, that was really, really good stuff, man.
Is there anything else I put on here? I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, we talked about it before, but Judge Carter, when they all just like came out of Blanchard, like they all just like slipped down, they're all slippery and gross. He was really gross when he's like, "Oh, a birthmark."
Yep, that was really fucking weird. Yeah, they were so oily, so slimy. Fucking Harvey Weinstein. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, no, good stuff, man. Okay, so my last few notes here on the plot, I would say I love the narrative of the rich eating the poor, not just killing the poor. So, like, Yuzna or the writers didn't stop at, like, just sacrificing a poor person. They absorbed the poor, which is so accurate in itself, in a wild way. I also said I don't think that they could ever actually escape that level of power and influence. So yeah, sure, you can get out, but they're going to pay somebody to kill you, and they obviously control the government, and you're not going to get away. So it was nice that Billy left with Milo and Clarissa. It was weird that Billy left with Clarissa knowing who she is, but she did help him. But because he was played the entire time, I wouldn't trust it. I would think Clarissa was still just playing me one more time. It was all an act for most of everything. So that would be tough for me to trust. But, cool. He got.
I was going to bring up a picture of the thing that influenced the shunting. Give me 1 second.
That would be the crack-fueled orgy with Tiny. That's what influenced the show.
Yeah, it's called the Autumn Cannibalism from Salvador Dali from 1937. It's the picture of all the melting clocks together.
Oh, yeah. I met Salvador once, and he did some crack, and then we did a fucking an orgy. So, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, see, Tiny, man. He's always there for all those fucking weird-ass things. Yeah. Wild.
He's like one
cool,
of those creatures.
Yeah.
That's why he survived so bad.
Right, exactly. Yeah. People just keep putting him in movies and fucking paintings and stuff. So, so my last two notes. One, I don't understand Clarissa's mom. We already covered that earlier, Mikey. Like, I don't understand who she was, why she was the way she was, why she was so different from the rest of society. And maybe that leads into why Clarissa did leave and help, because she was different as well, even though she was pretty. I don't know. I do love all of the ridiculous effects. I think it was so over the fucking top that it's a classic in itself just because of the effects. But I do think that the acting was good too. I think Billy's character did a great job of the intensity of losing your mind, quote unquote. And I think everybody really played their parts well. Milo was a very good friend. I just like that a lot. All right, so moving on. We'll just talk about a very limited set of behind the scenes and production notes, and then we'll get into the box office and critical reception and release notes with Mikey. But after having several of his productions fail for lack of finding a director, Yuzna decided to move into directing himself. So as a producer of Reanimator, he held the rights to the sequel, and he knew that he could find financing using that leverage. He used that for a 2-picture deal, the first of which turned into Society. Yuzna said that he wanted the safety of having 2 pictures to establish himself as a successful director. Society's script appealed to Yuzna partly because it was thematically similar to a failed project he had begun with Dan O'Bannon. I don't know what that was called.
Another person we should do an episode on.
Yeah, that could be fun. So Yuzna altered the script from a traditional slasher film climax about a religious cult to the surrealistic alien/primordial creatures. He made that decision. So that's cool. The production company introduced him to Screaming Mad George, who they knew would also be interested in the surreal gore. That's a great combination. I'm glad they found him. For the film's most surreal and gory sequence in
he
the
worked
shunting.
on Nightmare on Elm Street, and he was in punk bands too.
That's fucking cool.
Screaming Mad
Mad George. Should do an episode on him. So for the shunting, Yuzna actually based that on his own nightmares. And as Mikey was saying, it was further inspired by The Great Masturbator by Dali. So,
well, no, that's not what. From what Screaming Mad George said before, like I was watching an interview with him, he said it was it might be that one and the Autumn Cannibalism one from Salvador Dali too.
Well, it could have been both because Yuzna said that it was The Great Masturbator, but maybe Screaming Mad George looked at other Dali stuff. I don't know.
I think he did, yeah.
So it could just be a Dali-inspired kind of film, in general. Artist B. Ardings. Beanses. Author John Tolson identifies political themes imported from the paranoid science fiction thrillers such as Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Invaders from Mars. And Yuzna later cited the film's mix of paranoia, black humor, satire, and gore as alienating mainstream audiences. I could see where this film really would do that. So, if I was to take my mom and dad to watch this, I don't know that they would be so into it.
Yeah, it didn't do well in America, honestly, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
from what I'm reading about the which just sucks because like it's such a good movie for an '80s like monster movie or alien movie.
I agree, man. I agree. So if you want to take away those box office and critical reception and release notes, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Society premiered at the Shock Around the Clock Film Festival in London in 1989 for its British release. Society was marked in Video Trade Weekly with a picture of the film's theatrical premiere. Mark Kermode, is that Kermode? Yeah, Kermode. Called this stupid yet brilliant. It demonstrates that the distributor did not know how to market the film properly. That also recognized that traditional marketing for a genre film was irrelevant, which I agree with, honestly. I feel like it's one of the things that like was a problem with this movie was the marketing.
For sure.
Society was a success in Europe, but was shelved 3 years before getting a release in the United States. Director Brian Yuzna said on an interview, "I think Europeans are more willing to accept the ideas that were in the movie. That's why, for example, Society did really well in Europe, and in the U.S. it did nothing, where it was a big joke. And I think it's because they responded to the ideas there, and I was totally having fun with them. But they are there nonetheless." And then Arrow Video released a limited edition Blu-ray in the UK on June 8th. In the United States on June 9th in 2015. That's the one I have right here.
Nice. Okay.
What's this one?
Cool. Yeah.
And then it includes a new interviews, artwork, a comic sequel, and a music video by Screaming Mad George. As I said, he's a musician too.
Cool.
Now we'll do the Harambe reviews. Let me bring it up.
Yeah, let's get it. And that's time for our Harambe reviews.
There's 7 one-star reviews. I'm going to do the first one because this is actually funny. This person's like mad at it, I think.
Okay.
All right. Yuck. What the hell? That's the title of it. Yuck. What the hell? It's from June 11th, 2020. They spelled Society wrong in this. So, quote unquote, Society is one of those films I wish I'd rather not seen. Nothing about this film made any sense. The script is weird for the sake of being weird. The acting wasn't good at all. The premise made me raise an eyebrow or two. I firmly believe this film was a result of Brian Yuzna's fantasies or the fantasies of writers of Rick Fry and Woody Keith. The film also been a vessel for Brian Yuzna's display of cringeworthy visual effects. I mean, cringeworthy in a good way, that fact the visuals are really creepy and good. That's not what cringeworthy means.
Okay, interesting.
That was me. That wasn't the review. It really doesn't. But that's not what cringeworthy means.
Yeah.
Also, this person I don't think understood the movie at all.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So is that it?
We can shoot that reviewer. Yeah, that's the short one.
Okay. All right. And one more time. Okay. Perfect.
I should have read this one from 2002, where this person's like, "Why did I watch this?"
Oh my! Whoa! Oh shit! God damn it! Oh boy! Oh man! My finger's slipping.
Here's the 10-star one. I'll wait for it.
Okay.
Okay. Society. This is the second one down from 2019. Society rules. What an excellent horror movie with special effects, characters, writing, directing, and I highly recommend you watching this movie.
Okay. That's it. Easy peasy.
All right. I mean, if you want me to read another one, I have this one.
Yeah. That's right. Oh shit! God
this is actually 4 paragraphs, whereas that one was.
Whoa! Fuck that one up. Okay. Are you okay?
I was waiting for. I didn't want to interrupt. It was the shotgun thing was still going.
Okay.
Okay, so this one's a little bit longer. From 2020, hailed as the weirdest horror movie of all time in many people's weird list. Meant to be a slow burn, which assaults your senses of normal and more as movie progresses. It's a clear anti-capitalist message. All you have to do is read the lyrics for the song Eton boating song. Personally, I consider the weirdest horror movie I've seen out of thousands of horror I know I've seen in my life. This does not necessarily mean it's the weirdest I've seen, but I've definitely make the top 10. There are funny lines worth waiting for towards the end. It does a great job of epitomizing the end of the 80s horror movie age, at which many of us were very sad, especially when you see what 90s gave us. It's a great movie, well acted, impressive effects. Definitely a see for fans of body horror movies. 10 out of 10 all around.
All right. You know what? Thank you so much for that.
And honestly, I feel like this is going to be. I don't know if people agree with me or not, but I think a lot of people shit on the 90s for horror movies, but there are a lot of good horror movies in the 90s.
Yeah, I know. There are. I think
the 90s get a really bad rap, honestly, for horror.
I think they do too. I think direct-to-video gets a bad rap, but I think obviously, like shit, I just watched Auntie Lee's Meat Pies and it was fucking badass. Go check it out. 1992.
Or like Dead Alive, or like Scream, or yeah, those kind of
Nice. All right. Good stuff, man. Well, so thank you for those reviews, and thank you for your sacrifices, Harambe's, whether you were happy or mad. We put you right out of your misery. So moving on, last couple notes before we get the fuck out of here. Just legacy. There's really not a lot, but there is one. So, and I feel like you mentioned that this came with the Arrow release. But the Scottish comic book company called Rough Cut Comics acquired the comic book rights to Society in 2002, and they produced an official sequel. The comic book series returned in 2003 with Society Party Animal by writer Colin Barr. You okay there? Clickety-clack?
Oh, no, I was closing the case. I just realized that the limited edition version has the comic book. This one doesn't.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So, yes, it was Society Party Animal by writer Colin Barr and artist Shelby Robertson, issue 1, and Neil Cameron for issue 2. All right. So that's it, friends. We're going to get the fuck out of here, get you guys checked out, move on to our next week's announcement. But before we do that, we have one last little note from Tiny, who's just happy to be back. Tiny, what did you want to say?
Mikey, I forgive you. Don't worry, we can be best friends.
I'm going to go
just
grab the
give me
lighter.
some crack. I just need a little bit of crack. Just a little bit.
Why did you fucking kill him again? Jesus Christ. Tiny's not that bad. God damn it, man. I mean, he's a little annoying, but I mean, obviously he does the world good. He fucking got Yuzna to, be inspired to do the shunting. Like, that's a good
He's made
thing.
out of crack. I don't think he's done the country much good at all.
Yeah, that's true. He definitely would push crack at people. That's for sure. But I don't know. Whatever. To each their own. Okay, so let's get you out of here, guys. Maybe. I will see about that. If I need a no, not yet. If I need a cross-dimensional shrunken head powered ride, I'll get him back. Don't worry. He'll make an appearance here and there. I bet he will. All right, so grab your popcorn, grab your candies, grab your Sody Pops. This week we got a couple extra candies up here. We got some Sour Patch Kids. We got ourselves a little set of nerds. You want some nerds? Get your candies. This week you're going home with a treasure trove of Mike and Mike's shuntings. Oh no! Eat one with Mike and Mike, and you'll shunt till the morning comes. Okay. All right. So let's get you out of here. This week we're sending you home with quite the fucking haul. You guys are gonna have a good time watching these this week. So first, we're sending you home with Necronomicon, and that is an anthology by Christopher Gans, Brian Yuzna, and Shusuke Kaneko from 1993. Did I say that right? Shusuke Kaneko?
I think so. Let me see.
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so 3 horror stories. Man finds a monster, a reporter confronts a mad doctor's clan, and a policewoman finds an evil cavern. So check it out. Have fun. Woohoo. Next, we're sending you home with Return of the Living Dead from 1985 by Dan O'Bannon. When foreman Frank shows his new employee, Freddy.
The third one, because Brian Yuzna directed it, but okay.
What?
Oh, no, when I said Return of the Living Dead before, I said the third one because Brian Yuzna directed it.
Oh, I thought you said the first one because Dan O'Bannon directed it, and we talked about Dan O'Bannon earlier. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine.
Okay, yeah, so you're going on with that one. So when Foreman Frank shows his new employee, Freddy, a secret military experiment in a supply warehouse, the two klutzes accidentally release a gas that reanimates corpses, and fun ensues. We're sending you home with Faust, Love of the Damned by Brian Yuzna from 2000. An artist sells his soul to the mysterious M in order to get revenge on the people who killed his girlfriend. Soon, he realizes everything has a price and is transformed into a horned demon with a passion for killing. Dun, dun, dun. We're sending you home with Dolls by Stuart Gordon from 1987. A group of motorists, including young Judy Bauer, her horrible father, and her evil queen of a stepmother, and a meek businessman named Ralph, become stranded at a spooky mansion during a nighttime thunderstorm.
And this is my favorite Killer Doll movie. And produced, the funniest part of that one, though, I just want to say before we move on, is it's produced by Charles Band, who ended up making Puppet Master.
Oh,
I just always thought that was funny.
That's cool. Yeah,
he has a thing for making doll movies.
He loves them dolls. All right, and lastly, for the family, we're sending you home with The Guyver from 1991. Am I saying that right? I think so. Steve Wang and Screaming Mad George directed that one. When a researcher at the Kronos Corporation is mysteriously killed, his daughter, her boyfriend, Sean, and a rogue CIA agent named Max Reed, played by Mark Hamill, all suspect foul play. Sean discovers a top secret suit of Kronos armor called the Guyver, which fuses to his body when he tries it on. Okay, we're going to have a lot of fun with that one. So, that's it, friends. That's all we got. Give me
I guess who else is in the Guyver?
Who?
David Gale from The Reanimator.
Let's fucking
Dr.
go.
Hill. Yeah,
Love
Dr.
that. Hill. Does he put his head in between anybody's legs in this kid's movie?
No, he hasn't become a bat either.
Jesus Christ. All right, so that's it. We're getting the fuck out of here. Next week, now, friends, we did a pretty fun poll on all of our social media. We had a poll running on Instagram. We had a poll running on Twitter, and it finished up. And one thing that we're celebrating, the reason we're doing this poll, is because we've just hit 1,000 total downloads on our Spotify. Now, that's not including Apple or anything like that, but our Spotify, we're about to hit 1,000 downloads. Actually, as of today, while we're recording this episode, we're at 998. So, under the assumption that we'll get at least 2 more listens in the next week, we're going to announce the winner of the poll. So, Mikey, what was the poll? What were those movies that you put out for people to choose from?
So I put down. Hold on, let me bring it up. So I did Absurd, Driller Killer, and House by the Cemetery. Oh, and what was the fourth one? Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So the choices that you put out were Absurd, A Bay of Blood, The Driller Killer, and The House by the Cemetery. Yes.
Yeah, I picked all prosecuted and video nasty movies.
Right. So we decided as a part of our Thanks for 1,000 show, we were going to do a listener's choice episode, and we wanted to do another episode on a video nasty title. So we put out a poll on both Instagram and Twitter, and by far the most votes went to The House by the Cemetery. Yay!
Mauricio Fulci, the Godfather of Gore.
Woo! Yeah.
I did have I had a funny comment on there from somebody who follows us.
Oh, did you? What?
So the Semi-Skeptic podcast said, if it isn't Fulci, I'm unfollowing. Though I would complain if it was absurd either, which I still need to get as it goes. Yeah, like a couple smiley faces on there too.
Nice. Okay. Well, hopefully they're happy. So, yeah.
So we will go to Dr. Freudstein's house, and hopefully we will survive.
Yeah, hopefully we will survive. We'll have a good time next week. So yeah, join us next week for a really cool time at the house by the cemetery where we really
part 2, the Aquatini.
We hang out with Bobby Boy. All right, so let's get our shout outs in. So this week I'm shouting out a couple people. First, I'm shouting out Bearded Villain 83 or Mike, as his name happens to be, another Mike in my life. Love it. Who he's officially our video editor. The man has been added to the website. He has claimed the spot of video editor for the show. He has been putting out a lot of really cool content and sending it our way. He put out
he has a commercial he just made. We're going to put out soon.
Yep, he made us a commercial. He made us some preview stuff for Candyman, and he's been making images of like VHS stores with Balthazar hanging out in them and stuff. So he's really cool. Yeah, he's a really cool dude. We're really happy to have him on the team. He's the fucking man. Bearded Villain 83. Give him a follow on Instagram. The guy is awesome, and he's a member of the VHS Doom rental store team now. I also want to shout out Mutant City Horror Podcast. Those guys are really fucking cool, and we are going to collab with them, in the next couple weeks and get something out with them. They're a lot of fun. Check them out. That's all I can say. They get drunk and they talk about movies, or they've had some really cool interviews. They've interviewed some really neat people. So go check that out and have fun listening to their podcast. We appreciate you guys. Keep putting out your content. And lastly, for me, I'm going to shout out Tooth Brain Productions on Instagram. So Tooth Brain Productions puts out short films. They're currently running like a GoFundMe for a project that they're doing. But they actually made us a really neat little like logo sticker kind of thing this last week. So thank you guys for doing that. It's a lot of fun.
I've been wanting to put that. I want to put that on the store as a sticker. It'd be awesome.
It would, and we are going to get them on the show too. Actually, I'm working on scheduling with for interviewing them about their short films. So, and that's my shout outs. Who you got this week, bud?
I got Tangents of Horror podcast. They just did a really good Scream episode, and they had a bonus episode also, which I just listened to, was Best Films of 2023.
Nice.
They're awesome. 2 guys from Canada. They really do a good job. Steven and Brandon.
Love that.
Also, the Movie Dumpster. They're on YouTube, and they also post on like Spotify. They do deep dives into movies. They have guests on. It's really fun. I like those guys a lot.
Cool.
A Dab of Death podcast with my co-host Dab Jimmy on Twitter. Another podcast, In Film We Trust. They're another cool podcast. Doom Generation podcast. They're pretty awesome too. And then our friend Troy, and then my wife Katie.
Woo! Yay, Troy! Yay, Katie! And yay, Jimmy. We miss you, Jimmy. Hope you're doing well, buddy. From
He's
old
doing well
Death
from my heart.
Podcast. Yeah.
Floating through the void.
Nice. Good stuff. All right. Well, don't forget, friends, come on the podcast if you have a project you want to promote. Email us at vhsdoom@gmail.com. Tubi, sponsor us, god damn it, and twerk till it fucking hurts. We'll see you next time at VHS Doom. Peace. Let me see if the outro will play. Oh, do you?
All of the best technical items here at the VHS Doom podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the technical hour at VHS Doom, where we try to figure out our cameras and our sounds.
That was great.
That'll be at the end of the episode. Oh, shit.
What a shunting good time.
All right, you let me know when you're ready.